it's Luna, here today to do the If I Own a Bookstore Tag. I thought it'd be fun to do this tag because everyone knows that I hope in the end to have my own little charity cafe, and this helps me get in perspective of what I want it to be and some ideas I have for it. So the first question is, what would the name be? That's easy, it would be Mr. Lights. I just really like the name. I know it's my name for my YouTube channel, and I feel like it's a good combination of the Mr. Arts and the lights to be anything, to be like pastries, tea, coffee, anything that brings a little joy to your day. Next question is, what are the hours of operation? I feel like during the week it would probably be 8 a.m. to either 7 or 8 p.m. maybe. But then probably longer on the weekends, probably closer to 10 or 11. Next question is, will there be ambient music? And if so, what time? That'd be yes. I'd probably have musicals playing a lot. And other times it'd probably be instrumental or fantasy, both on the weekends to help fit the theme of what's going on around the store. Is there a coffee bar, and will you serve alcohol is the next question. Coffee? Yes. You know I'm a tea drinker. Yay! I do know a lot of people are coffee drinkers, so I would have both options. As for alcohol, no. I'm not a drinker, and I've seen what happens when people get too intoxicated and too rousy, so I probably want to avoid that. Next question is, are customers encouraged to linger, and are there comfortable chairs? So I kind of like how Laura answered this, that I would have comfortable arrangements of seating for people to hang out, either doing like homework or work on projects or hang out with friends, but they'd have to be a paying customer. And I think the way to ensure that they are paying customers is to have them show receipts of items they paid. Because where we live, we do have a large homeless problem. In my job, in the cold season, we had homeless people come in, and it just ruins the aesthetic. Nobody wants to sit near someone that's smelly and asking every 2 seconds if they have money. And I wouldn't want that in my store. I mean, I'd still donate to like the homeless shelters and help them out that way. I just wanted them to fund my store. I did not see there's more in this question. The rest of the question asks about the lighting. Is there tables? Is there areas for people to gather? And the answer to that would be yes. So I'm a giant gamer. So I'd probably have large table set up for areas people want to do tabletop gaming or D&D campaigns or whatever you want to do. And I'd probably have like smaller tables, like groups of 2 or single tables for people that just want to troll off a book or work on their little projects. And I feel like the lighting would be probably a little brighter in like the low levels where the D&D or tabletop games are playing, because a lot of people like want good lighting to see their character sheets and the maps. And then on the upper levels, probably just have better lighting for those that just want to explore and have a little bookstore or cafe area. Next question is, will there be live entertainment? And the answer to that is yes. I would probably have once a week doing different concepts, like doing live reading for your poetry, or people that want to learn like songs or little acts, like either like little plays they want to put on or improv, stuff like that, because I love doing theater and I've encouraged that. I also think to help out the LARP community, where people like to cosplay, probably also doing like a little fashion show. That way people can show off what they're working on and get critiques and help with them. The next question is, where is your store located? and I would probably have it in a small town because I know personally I am not a fan of large cities or large towns because it feels like you always have to compete for every little thing. I don't like that feeling. And a few big towns I've been to, like New York and PA, it's just overcrowded and dirty. And I feel like in small towns, it's very close-knit community, and everyone's willing to like be friendly and help out, and that's the kind of stuff I'd want. The next question is, how would your store look from the outside? I would probably go with a whimsical fantasy vibe. So here how I looked almost like a little mini castle on the outside by having like wind chimes that are like fairies on if there's windows or above the door. I've seen other versions where they have a cafe bookstore and it's like it looks like a toadstool or it looks like the fairy cottage. So probably over that kind of theme. The next question is, what does your bookstore specialize in, and if there's a specialized genre? I feel like mine would be like most bookstores and have pretty much any genre you think of. Yes, I know learning not to me because I don't like romance, but I know there are romance readers, so I'd probably still have it. Though, I feel like in the front I'd probably publicize more poetry and fantasy because paranormal because those are areas I like. But I'd still other genres for other types of readers. So that's it for questions, but I feel like I'd want to describe what the store looked like on the inside. You gotta explain what it looked on the outside, but not inside. So I want to cover both. So because I want it to be a tarot cafe, I feel like one section of the store would be the cafe, and it would be centered around tarot, so maybe having pictures of the major arcana around, having a lot of recipes focusing on tarot, with the drinks and pastries, and having a corner where people do tarot readings, and also offering classes once a month for those that want to learn. And the other half of the store would be a bookstore. And each section had a banner above it saying what they are because I like that in Barnes & Nobles that it's big bright letters where you can read, it's easy to find sections. But surrounding it would be like different fonts or different pictures of what the genre is. For example, fantasy would have dragons, romance would probably have lovers, stuff like that. Sci-fi would have beakers. I think that'd be too bad. And then on the bottom level would be where people would go for D&D or tabletop gaming. So have a bunch of tables. Each one had like a blank map people drawn for the world building. Having a section where you can store their costumes. People want to get into character, or if they're LARPers, which is live action roleplay, they could use that area to help work on their costumes. And maybe once a month, have them practice their characters, either with fighting or having cosplay events, stuff like that. I feel like that's a fun way to like get my ideas organized for what I'd want this to be in the future. I do know when I finally have the store, I want it to be very inviting and that people would come find their own little niche enjoying because I don't want anyone to come and feel like an outcast or not included or not wanted when you come in the store. And even if you're not nerdy or not into book lover, they'd still come and just buy, coffee and a pastry and just have a little quiet session to themselves. So this tag is for anyone that wants to do it. And until next time, Embrace what makes you unique. Bye, guys!